And we had some pretty amazing mobilization from our community, and we haven't seen that. At least I haven't seen that in my 7 years on the city council. So I applaud everybody who joined us today and who are still on this call, and I really appreciate your engagement. And based upon what I've heard today, I would like to slow this down, and we should put the brakes on this. I'm not ready for a January 19th decision, as James has been asking. I think we are not ready for that. At least I'm not ready for that. I can see our citizens are totally engaged now, and since the postcard went out, I believe a lot more folks got aware. We had been doing some sort of uh, outreach and all that, but the postcard really, uh, things got fire after that. And our community has finally awakened to the reality of what's going on. And this is the time the rubber is hitting the road. And the feedback we're getting is that we're looking at an incredibly inequitable approach to solving a very complex problem. And I'm not happy about that. And when you look at us moving housing from Saratoga Avenue to Gateway, pack it in one area, you sort of address the needs of the neighborhood in the other area. I don't think so. That is probably a good long-term solution. So my approach would be to see how we can redo this and get it right and extend the cycle if necessary. So I'll give you an example. I've heard that we are trying to protect Safeway. Now, the reality is that nothing is safe today, nothing. If you look at what happened with Jeans Fine Food, it became, it was gone. The builder applied SB 35 and it was gone. So SB 35 can be applied to every single commercial area of Saratoga. So we may lose Argonaut Safeway also to SB 35, just like we lost the Keto Village Jeans. Now, I would like to draw attention to something that no one has brought up today. Now, the reality is that we will not be able to build the arena numbers. The numbers are just too high. In the next 8 years, we are going to fail. And we might do a little bit better than the 100+ units that we did in the last 7 years. And can the city hand out permits to build 1,700 units over the next 8 years? The reality is that we are not, and we are being set up for failure. So it is like a little chess move. So let me explain that to you. This is what I have sent out to our community via my emails. It is a very clever move by Sacramento politicians who are working in cahoots with the real estate developers. SB 828, Senate Bill 828 has empowered the Department of Housing and Community Development to set up outrageous RHNA numbers for cities. And it has been set up such that the cities will fail. And when we fail, there is another magical bill which is waiting in the wings. It's like, okay, you made a chess move, here is something else coming at you. SB 35 is waiting in the wings, Senate Bill 35, which is how we lost Keto Village, which is how we lost Jeans. So if building permits are not pulled, then the cities are blamed. But a city government does not build housing, as we all know. So if developers don't pull permits, then developers circumvent the city council as per the definition of SB 35, or rather SB 828. This is how SB 828 is structured, and SB 35 kicks in. So, and what SB 35 does, it goes through a ministerial approval, that is a rubber stamping approval, without any public hearing. So everything is pointing to that direction. And in the next few years, we could potentially lose all of our commercial, including the village, perhaps, who knows? Now, what are the options, right? What are the options to get out of this mess? And so I've been talking about getting that SB9 quota letter to HCD should be sent out to understand, what's the level of SB9 quota that will be handed out to Saratoga. We also need to support the ballot measure. And that is a state of California, it's California amendment. And our city council did a resolution. And last meeting I heard, oh, we did a resolution. That is not good enough, I'm sorry. We have to push to collect signatures, get our citizens involved with that to ensure that this amendment will go on the ballot. And if the ballot is passed, which is very likely because communities across California are reeling with this RENA numbers with SB9, SB10. And based upon some polling, we have seen 70 or 80% of the folks not in favor of this. So if the ballot measure passes, then SB 35, SB 828, SB 9, SB 10 are essentially null and void. So I've been working with cities from 29 counties across California in this housing process, in educating them, engaging them, and making sure that cities will collaborate. We need to collaborate with other cities for sure. So I've been speaking like a broken record ever since that 14-story building was proposed at San Jose, El Paso, Saratoga. I think it's 2019. It is not right for San Jose because of all the issues with Saratoga, with all the, if you imagine that development going by the El Paso, the Saratoga, a 10-story, 12-story building, you will find motorists racing down Saratoga Avenue to get to Highway 85. Our roads will get jammed up even more. We don't have the jobs or a major transit center, so the push for housing is a little bit flawed. Without the infrastructure, supporting infrastructure, we heard that from our residents today. We're talking about schools, we're talking about roads expansion, we're talking about sewer system. Hell, we don't even have water. Water is a big problem. And we are facing a drought and we face the brunt of super high water rates. So all this development is happening without any investment on infrastructure, which will mean that Saratoga will have to bear the brunt of that expense via tax increases. We have heard city council candidates say, I will not want a Santana Row in Saratoga in many elections. At the last study session of December, I heard a debate between 4-story and 5 stories. And, I was like going crazy in my head. Oh my God, what is this going on? We are debating 4-story and 5-story in such a casual manner. And if we do, let's say 3-story or 4-story now, it'll become 6-story in like 8 years. Where is this going to end? So this is utter craziness. It's definitely a flawed approach to housing. And we need to go back and review this for opportunity sites all over Saratoga and come up with a better plan. So that's my take.